Tonight, we are highlighting a disorder that affects more than 2 million people, according to the National Aphasia Association. Yet many people have never even heard of it. Now, a stroke survivor you see right here is on a mission to raise awareness about living with a loss for words.
Tomorrow,
Awesome.
is that right?
Perfect.
Coleman Watson built a career around words.
Practicing
Words were his livelihood.
lady dear.
Slow it down.
A patent attorney, he opened his own law firm and litigated hundreds of cases.
Litigator.
A litigator.
His wife says he passed the bar on the first try in not only Florida, but also Georgia, New York, and California.
He's definitely very driven.
That drive is helping him conquer a new challenge, one that began unexpectedly at the age of 41, just a month before the pandemic started.
I knew something as little off.
What he didn't know was his whole world was about to change. It turned out he had had a sudden cryptogenic stroke.
In that moment, I really nearly thought I was dying.
His stroke left him with a language disorder called aphasia, from the Greek words meaning without speech.
Big breath. June. Yes.
When I had my stroke and I lost my words, it was so frustrating.
Let's say Coleman. Yes.
But I saw him and his face was blank, but he looked normal. But then when the doctors were asking him questions, the only thing he could say was yes.
Open your mouth. A.
Over the past year, he's had to relearn how to read,
Acting.
write, and understand language.
The dog inside her hand.
Before his stroke, he was teaching his young daughter how to read.
Kitchen.
Now, she is helping teach him.
Kitchen.
Table.
Imagine if you were going to a foreign country like Japan. You still have your thoughts. You're still just as smart, but you can't understand what people are saying. People can't understand you, and you can't read or write over there. You feel very lost.
Gymnastics.
Kayla Foraker is a speech therapist at Brooks Rehabilitation Aphasia Center in Jacksonville,
So I will give you a word.
which treats patients from around the world.
Not V.
She worked with Coleman during 2 6-week intensive programs.
Here. Beat.
He's made, in my opinion, miraculous strides.
He is trying to do
We use a lot of treatment centered around creating sentences, rebuilding that grammar and that speech.
back scream.
So when he's trying to say a word, he has pictures of people's mouths like making the S sound or the T sound. So in his mind, if he can't say a word, he's putting together the pictures and spelling it so that he can make his mouth produce it.
Try and write it down for me, because I know you know it up here.
While aphasia has changed Coleman's life, it's not impacted his intelligence.
It doesn't affect their intellect. So they're still the same smart person that they were before. That's not affected. It's purely that language center.
Coleman is now focused on making a documentary to raise awareness about aphasia.
Right now, I'm trying to pitch it for Netflix.
And he says he's seriously considering a run for U.S. Senate and passionate about healthcare reform to make sure everyone can get the care they need.
My story, it is a story that could be anyone.
The word he wants others to take away from his story: hope.
I know that my speech is not perfect. I know the reason that I can talk right now is because I never lost of hope.
I never lost hope. Wow, he's doing so well. What really struck me was seeing him look at the photos of other people's mouths. That's incredible. And then you're saying he wears a special bracelet.
Right, because when you look at him, you can't tell that he has a language disorder. And so he has a little gray bracelet. It simply says, I have aphasia. So if he has trouble communicating, he can just point to that to help people understand why. But he has just made amazing progress. And if you're interested in learning more about aphasia and about the resources that are available to help, I've linked a lot of information to this story on firstcoastnews.com.